Welcome to What's Cookin', episode 9, featuring Alex Harper.
Hey, y'all.
Hello. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
you. Your boy whipped up pancakes for dinner tonight.
Yep.
Per request of Alex. Chocolate chip pancakes. Now, there was a little experiment that went awry, and half of these pancakes are actually just straight up chocolate pancakes. So,
Nothing I haven't dealt with before.
you know, things happen in the kitchen and you just kind of roll with it, and hopefully it pans out okay. And as always, of course, I have the beautiful Taylor Jade with me over here, cracking puns and holding it down on the conversation, and our boy Kato holding it down with the cameras. Yep,
You know what you didn't even bring up is that we're in a different setup right now.
we are in a different setup right now. Why don't you let them
Are-
know?
oh,
Yeah,
I'm
you
letting
you
them
brought it
know?
up. Yeah,
Okay.
you let them
I'm
know.
like, oh, I'll
You
open
brought
the
it
doors
up.
for
You
what
brought
to
it
do.
up. No, I'll let you take it.
No, we're just seeing if we can try some new stuff. So we'll see if we like it. We'll see if we don't. We'll see where to go from here.
You'll still see splices of me cooking in here. We really just wanted to make sure that we could highlight the conversation for you guys. What's going to be a little different this time too is that we're going to have the full video of our conversation up on YouTube as well as the full audio available on our podcast. So
Yeah.
something a little different.
Trying
Thank you for being our guinea pig
Yeah.
and rolling with it.
I'm excited.
You know? Oh, and I gotta mention, Alex is the first person to ever bring a gift onto the show. Yeah.
A big old
A
gift.
big old gift. She was like, we're having pancakes for dinner. Why don't we make some mimosas while we're at it?
Yeah.
And cheers to that.
Cheers to
cheers.
that. Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you
that
so
so much.
Eye contact, guys. Bad luck.
Well,
More than bad luck.
Yeah, well, let's not put that evil on us right now, Ricky Bobby. Cool. So let's dig in. Why don't you
I'm gonna
pass
dig in.
that log cabin over here? Alex, why don't you do the honors?
okay, well, I'm going to go in like super.
Dude, hit it.
No, I'm not even going to use this.
Oh.
I'm saying
You're just going to hit the
She
pancakes.
doesn't even need it.
Oh, wow.
straight shooter.
Touche. Tay, you're hitting the butter right now? All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll douse my shit. I'm the kind
I mean,
of guy
I'm
who
gonna
likes
definitely
to
have
drip.
some syrup, but
Of
I have to
course.
do a little bit of both.
Yeah, for sure. I just like to drip on my sauce. I'm a saucy kind of guy when it comes to my food.
I'll
so,
take it.
Yeah.
A bit weird, but it's fine.
You know, it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Wow.
Oh, see,
I like wow.
paused for a second there, and I was a little
I was
concerned.
scared.
I was going
No.
to be like, I got to figure out a way to tell this guy that these pancakes suck.
Wow. Delightful.
Delightful. I love that. I'm kind of worried about these chocolate ones,
I think they're gonna be
but
good.
I'm proud of these ones because you can see the fluffiness and the
Yeah.
consistency on there.
But
you know?
even the chocolate ones on the top, like that last little batch of chocolate that you made,
Yeah.
look pretty impressive
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. Me and Kato were talking about it and observing as we were making it. You know, I feel like the chocolate might have weighed down the consistency a little bit.
Right.
You know, just so you guys at home know how this happened. You gotta wait if you're gonna like heat up your milk and your butter. You gotta wait for the batter to cool off before you throw the chocolate in there. Or guess what? It's gonna melt.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh my God.
The chocolate ones come out good
It's
too,
like it's like a brownie.
It's like cake.
right?
Yeah.
It's like just straight up brownie.
It's like a brownie.
Your boy nailed it, guys. Nailed it.
Brownie
Nailed
pancakes for dinner.
Nailed
Brownie
it.
pancakes for dinner.
Wow, that's really good.
I don't know which one I like more.
Kato, how is
Wow.
it? How is it over there with them? Yeah. If we get the seal of approval from Kato on our breakfast food, you know it's good. Kato's not a huge breakfast fan, so
Oh.
if we kill it with the breakfast food, you know it's what's up. You made a brownie. I made a
We
brownie.
did. We made a breakfast
And I added
brownie.
brown sugar, and it did not taste worse.
It did
No,
not
it did not taste
worse.
worse at all. Damn, yeah.
There's brown sugar in this? Mm-hmm. I would have never known.
a little vanilla extract too, you know, some little secrets my dad taught me when making pancakes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pops. It was just Father's Day.
Yep.
Shout out to Pops for the pancakes.
Very excited.
So, Alex,
Talk to me.
you talk to me.
Okay.
You tell me, because these lovely people don't know who you are, which is such a bummer because you are one of the coolest women that I've ever known in my life.
Thank you.
I would love for you to just give us a rundown on the things that you do and some of the awesome stuff that you've been up to.
Because I got so many questions to ask you.
Ooh.
Like, yeah, I'm so ready for this one. I'm so intrigued. So give him the intro and then we're going in.
We're going in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me know when to stop. So, Hey, I'm Alex. I moved out to LA probably 8 years ago, got my degree in acting. While I was there, started like really heavily shooting photos, kind of let that take over for a good amount of time, got my degree. And then ever since then, it's sort of been like a beautiful mesh of sometimes photos, sometimes acting, sometimes photos. Shooting a lot of different kind of stuff, a lot of editorial, some album covers, a couple different short films in the works. So yeah, just sort of a jack of all trades is my short summary of myself.
Which has been a really huge theme on our show lately, the jack of all trades,
Right.
kind of being able to dive into multiple fronts of creativity and multiple fronts of, not just sticking to one thing, which is one thing that we really try to do as Tastebreakers. I know Taylor really tries to live up to. She broke out of just doing dance to, obviously she's our creative director. She's a big reason why we do a lot of the projects that we do. So it's really awesome when we can bring somebody on the show who's also kind of in that same realm of like,
Waymaker.
I started here, yeah, exactly. Like I started here, now I'm doing this. I'm well versed in multiple fields, which I feel like it's just gonna be like such a theme for our pod in general, I feel like, but just such an important thing, I feel like, to be able to really have a knowledge in everything that you're passionate about.
Yeah,
right?
I could not agree more.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've seen such a wave of that. We have people like Childish Gambino, who's also Donald Glover, like people who are just like okay doing all of their different art forms. I feel like for so long you had to be like just this one thing, and people only
Right.
accepted you as,
If you had a niche.
yeah, this is what you are. We label you as this. Like, cool, all right, awesome, we understand.
Right.
But now I feel like there's so much more room to be like a all-around artist, because I feel like it's very rare that you find an artist who really only likes doing like one piece of this whole like artist
Right.
puzzle.
And how can you not get burnt out if you're doing one same thing every single day?
Yeah.
That's why I do so many things. Like I just straight up get bored or burnt out of just doing one thing too much that I need another escape of some sort.
Absolutely. I feel it's so much more engaging when you allow yourself to inspire yourself in other areas.
Right.
And it's interesting because when I first moved here, I really wanted to do music, obviously, which is still the crux of what our project is. We're musicians, we're DJs, we're producers. But I had all these other interests and passions that I wanted to execute on. And I was hesitant at first because I didn't know if it was like appropriate. If you straight up, like I didn't know. I was like, as a DJ or as a producer, do I really have, in a weird way, the right to have a platform, to have a podcast?
Interesting.
Right to have, our TV dinner, which you've been to, which is like more like us hosting a private dinner and interviewing artists and stuff like that. And these are things that really interested me. And for a little bit, at first, I just shut down completely and focused on only one thing, which I think is important when you're actually trying to hone in on a craft, for sure. Because if it weren't for that time, me focusing on music, I don't think I would have really gathered my bearings in that realm.
Right.
But now that I'm a little more comfortable in that field and, starting to spread out a bit more, I'm able to dive into these other projects. And I truly believe that being able to have this show, What's Cookin', have TV dinner, and have all the other cool creative endeavors that we have, it inspires my music a lot more.
Yeah.
It inspires my music way more.
Because you're learning.
You're
so
learning
many
from different experiences.
Exactly.
You're living life. You're actually living it, and you're actually tapping into different realms of creativity, right? So that's why I really wanted to bring you on as a guest, because I've seen that you do so much that I was almost just like, what does she do? But at the same time, like, that's what's so sick. It's because, like, it seems like she really just does what she's passionate about and what she enjoys doing.
Yeah, I think for a long time, similar to you, I felt like I really could only do acting. I moved out here to act. That was it. That was all I was going to do. And if I did anything else, then I was sort of a fraud.
Sure. Yeah. No, exactly.
But it was so cool to find something that like allowed me to express like a side of my artistry like behind the camera where I was like less of the focus.
Right.
And then something that is obviously so like in front of the camera with acting.
Right.
So it's been like a really cool mix of like, okay, now I just want to take a step back.
Right.
Let me be this part of who I am as an artist.
Right.
Okay, now I want to like really go full-fledged into this. Let me do that as an artist.
So it started with acting for you, obviously.
Started, yep.
That's why you came out here. And you mentioned that you started picking up some like photography gigs and stuff like that. So I'm curious, when did that start for you? Were you already doing photography in high school before you moved out here? What was the trigger for you to start picking up those gigs in that realm?
So I started in film in high school.
Gotcha.
Developing my own film, kind of
Interesting.
figuring that out, really learning.
That's really big
Yeah.
for a high schooler to
Absolutely.
do. Yeah.
Well, I was so lucky. I feel like we had a really great art department in my high school. Also, both my parents are artists, so it was like
Very cool.
a very natural like progression to become
Yeah.
an artist and not a lawyer or anything like that. So started developing my own film and really like enjoyed that as a hobby, but strictly as a hobby, acting was like the main.
Right.
And then moved out here and really told myself like, let it just be acting. Just
Sure.
focus on acting.
Sure.
Like let that be the thing that like really propels you.
Right.
And then about halfway through getting my degree, my boyfriend actually was like, hey, I've heard you talk about this photo thing. Like I haven't really seen you do it.
Right.
Like why don't we just go out and see like if you still like it? And I was like, no. And then finally he had coerced me enough to just go out on like one day, just taking like a couple random pictures. Ended up posting them on Facebook. And this was like 5 years ago. And then posted a couple of them. And then like since then it just has sort of like rolled into a career.
What it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never was intentional, which I also sort of like.
Of course.
I feel like a lot of places in my life I am very regimented,
Sure.
but I also love the idea of just letting things sort of come as they are. And this happened really organically
Yeah.
for
Right.
me. But I think if I'm being like very truthful, I think I really allowed myself to be because acting was the thing that I was really trying to do.
Right.
And if I could just focus on this other art thing, then I could sort of release all of the things that I wanted to release in my acting, but maybe was too scared to do,
Right.
Sure.
or
Right.
whatever. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
So
course.
the last 5 years have been a really great time for me to learn, like not only who I am as an artist, but also who I am as a person.
Right.
So having that growth has allowed me to say what I just said. Like, I think I was a little scared to really jump 2 feet into the acting thing. So
Sure.
I jumped 10 feet in to the photo thing. And I love both of them so much.
Yeah.
But let me just jump 2 feet into this other piece
Right.
because I've been devoting so much time to one side.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just really cool to see all the dope projects that you have gotten via photography.
So many cool
So many cool projects.
Yeah.
And so it snowballed from there. Like, how did you start building a career off of that is my first question. And then I have a follow-up for after that too.
Oh, God, I don't know. I think it just was something where it's like you have sort of like levels that you set for yourself of
Yeah.
like, oh, if I achieve this, then like I'm doing good. And I think like I really started heavy doing headshots because I'm surrounded by a ton of actors,
Yeah, yeah.
musicians,
Entertainment
dancers.
industry,
Yeah.
yeah.
All those people need headshots. So I was
Yep.
charging like $40 for headshots. That was like my side hustle for a minute.
yeah.
And then really tried to transition out of that because it's like that's not really creative. There's such a strategy of how you need to do that art form. So then I think I started doing a lot of like lifestyle things and like made that my main
Yeah.
like way to make money. And at that point I was like, okay, cool. I've like achieved that level of success. And then you start posting that stuff on Instagram, you get people who start to notice that, and then just more and more people start to sort of like roll in who are like, hey, I saw this thing that you posted, I want to do something. So then you start shooting a lot of people for free who are just like interested in what you're doing.
Sure.
And then like that was a level of success. And then just more and more people who I respected as artists like started to reach out. And I think for me that was the coolest thing. For so long I was shooting people who I saw their blue check mark or whatever, but didn't really know as artists. And so when people who I admired and respected as artists started to reach out, I think that was the point in photography where I was like, okay, I've hit a level that I feel really good. I feel like I've achieved something I'm proud of, because now I'm in rooms creating like my artistic vision with people who I look up to as like other creators in this like art game that we're playing.
Alex is being so modest and so humble because she has such a gift that like I really feel people are so drawn to your work because it looks so natural. Like even the photos you take of people just really capture them in their full element, I feel like. So I don't know if you were even more trying to ask of like when exactly did the like big snowball hit, but besides like maybe Facebook bringing all those people and those projects in, like what was the staple that was like, oh shit, like I'm really deep in this right now?
Your like inflection point of your photography career.
I think the first like really cool moment for me was BJ the Chicago Kid.
Sick.
I feel like that was a really cool moment. I had just come off like sort of a crazy period of my life. I had spent 2 months at home, and that was the first thing that I shot, like coming back, being healthy, like being like an artist again in LA. And that was really cool because I love BJ's music. I love like his voice. I love like every song that he's on. I feel like every song he's on, he makes better.
Yeah.
So when that opportunity came to me, I was like, yes, because I really like him. So I think that was the first moment where I was like, okay, I feel validated that like the work I'm creating, other people are seeing and like respecting and willing to like pay me for.
Yeah,
really.
That's dope. Yeah. That's really dope. Do you feel that by building a sustainable career off photography, that you feel a little more free in expressing your creativity from the acting perspective?
Yes, I feel really lucky that this is the like place that I've put myself in. I feel like for a long time I was like, oh, if I'm not doing both, then am I really both or whatever. But I think allowing myself the time and the space to like really dive deep, like you were saying, into one art form, like really honing in on that, becoming like an expert in that field, has allowed me to know, okay, now I want to like really step back into acting.
Sure. And
sure, it's been a little bit since I've done that, but I just need to stretch those muscles again.
Absolutely.
And give the same respect to acting that I gave to photography. And then it's only a matter of time. I feel like persistence is huge, especially
100%.
in LA.
Absolutely.
There's so many people who move out here, who live out here, who live out here for what, a year? They do a 12-month lease, and go home. And I get it. This city is hard. It's like competitive and whatever.
The
but
talent level here is
crazy.
on a different level. I mean, you have people who've really been doing this who move out here, and I felt it too when I first moved here. I was like, whoa, everyone here is so crazy talented, man. Like, and they're still on the same grind that I am. And, you know, it's only natural to have the thought of, can I do this? Right? Can I make this happen? I'm surrounded by so many other talented people who haven't yet. What makes you any different is the thought. These are the thoughts that I would have. So I totally get it. And it's like a home base of sorts
Right.
that you can go to and be like, yo, I got this that's holding me down out here while I'm chasing this, right? And I think that that's super valuable. I didn't want to interrupt and jump
you're
into your
good.
point, but like it resonated with me a lot because for me personally, right now, obviously we have all the stuff that we do with Tastebreakers, but I also have, a career which is funding all of this. And I'm from the Bay Area, grew up and was raised in like a tech bubble, right? And that was something I was really interested in growing up as well. And this is kind of like harkening back to being able to tap into multiple facets of my interests. And one area that always interested me was like business and tech. It's just like natural from where I grew up. And when I moved out here, again, the first thing was like, I got to double down on music. There's nothing else. I shut everything else out. And it was a different kind of struggle. Not that I didn't love the music, but I didn't feel like it freed me creatively, which is why I asked you that question, is if you felt like photography freed you creatively. Because I feel as though having the career that I have now, which is a tech startup, but that's in a live event space, which is pretty much everything that I'm very interested in, and it correlates with, what we're trying to do with Tastebreakers in my career, and it is now giving me the opportunity to be totally free in what I do in my creative endeavors. It's been one of the most freeing things I've ever had. As like a human being, it's like now I don't have to worry about maybe taking on projects creatively that I don't want to take on.
Sure.
I don't have to worry about, making a type of song that I don't want to make, I don't have to worry about creating content that I don't want to make. Everything that we do as a team, all of us have other things that allow us to create exactly what it is that we want to create. And I think that having that freedom as I'm using the word create a lot, but as a creative person is one of the most liberating feelings that you can have.
Hell yeah.
I mean, and even
100%.
back to the knowledge thing, like if you take time away from your craft to go focus on another craft, you will always bring what you learned in that craft into your new craft. Lucky for you guys, and myself, everything ties in. So for you, it's photography. You now know what exactly needs to look like in front of a lens. So now as the actress, you know how you need to be in front of a lens, how you need to position yourself, what angles of yourself that you like. Same with you have a business now. You have a 3-person business that you have to help run. With myself, it's creative direction. I didn't know that the vision I had for dance actually was like direction. It didn't even have to do with dance, and dance just led me there. So I feel like, same with Kato. He's got a plethora of skills that he is able to do, that he's learned, that he uses every single day with our business as well. So watching everybody go and do multiple things, I think it's so important to just learn as much as you can and learn everything and dive into everything that you've always been passionate about, especially when you were younger. Because that's what really tells, I think, the most about us is when we're bringing back those things that we were doing as a kid that was really liberating, whether it was like playing artist or playing photographer or playing model, whatever it is, and bringing that back into our adult life. It transitions you so much, and then your whole entire craft is just like bliss almost.
Yeah, I think if I had jumped into acting the way I had always planned right after college, I graduated at like a fresh 20. So I've lived in these 4 or 5 years, however much, like so much life. I've learned so much about myself, about like the kind of artist I want to be, the kind of person I want to be. I think if I had really like tried to go full-fledged into acting, I wouldn't have the career I wanted to have. I would be doing stuff I didn't want to do, and probably not well. I've like learned so much in 4 years, 5 years that has allowed me to be a better actor because I'm a more rounded human being. But also just like a better artist in general. There's so many shoots that I've thought of that I wouldn't have thought of when I graduated, because now I've experienced even just a little bit more life than I had however many years ago.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And now you have to be the creative behind the camera, so you can get even extra creative in front of the camera.
Biggest thing I feel like it's important to reach that point is something that we've talked about before. So if you've been watching and you've been listening, you've heard me say this, but it doesn't matter. It's like really surrendering to just surrender in general, the concept of surrender, just you surrendered to, you had this preconceived notion of, I had to come here and it's only acting. And then you reach this inflection point where like, I'm going to surrender to whatever it is that life presents me, and I'm going to capitalize on those opportunities. I feel that I did the same thing. Tay, I feel like you probably did the same thing as well.
Everyone in this whole room.
Everyone in this whole room, Kato as well. And you reach a point where it's like, the things aren't mutually exclusive, right? It's not like, I have to do this so I can achieve this. It's like, no, I'm just going to do whatever it is that life presents in front of me.
Right.
And I'm going to take those experiences, I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow, and then I'm going to funnel that back into, what my main passion is, what my main goal is, for you, acting, for you, creative direction, or dance, for us, music, creating this entire, brand, your photography. It's like really just allowing yourself to be like, yo, like whatever it is life throws in front of me, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rock it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ride this fucking roller coaster, and we're just gonna see where it goes, So for you on an acting front, you got anything like cool coming up? Have you been tapping in?
So I really, when I tell you it was like hard breaks after college, like it was hard breaks.
Yeah.
I even forgot that I was an actor for a minute.
Oh, wow.
Really finding those muscles again has
Sure.
been like, it's been so much fun. So recently directed a short film.
Dope.
Oh, wow.
Just like really dipping my toes in again. I have another short film that I wrote in pre-production that I'm
Dope.
starring in.
Dope.
And then 2 more that are written to go whenever they're ready to go.
So where do you see yourself moving forward from here? Because you just mentioned a lot of things that were outside just the realm of acting. You're out here, you're writing stuff, you're directing stuff. So in that realm for you, like I know it might be like a loaded question to ask what the end goal is, but like, where are you kind of trying to build this towards? Like, where are you trying to head towards?
I think still ultimate goal is acting, and now
Okay.
like really photography is in there as well. If you would have asked me 5 years ago if I wanted to do that long term, I would have said no.
Yeah.
But I love it so much, and it's so great to have something that's like, okay, in front of the camera, behind the camera, like I mentioned before.
Right.
But I think as far as acting goes, I'm just having fun exploring
Sure.
what all of this looks like.
Sure.
And acting, I think, in this sort of like movie, TV realm is sort of like goal number 1.
Right.
Directing was really fun to do it once.
Yeah.
Tried it. We'll see how good I was at it.
Fair.
But it was really fun to try.
Yeah.
Writing, I've always really enjoyed. I've loved every like different form of writing. If I showed you all the journals I started and never finished when I was like 5, 6, 7, you would laugh because
For
it's
sure.
like every single page is like, Dear Diary, it's Alex again. I promise I won't drop out on this journal, and then there's no more pages.
Of course. I mean, I'm 26 and I do that now, so
Well,
What
you
are you
and,
gonna do?
and 5-year-old have a lot in common. So yeah, writing is always something that I've like really, really loved to do, and I think pursuing that as sort of like a very secondary thing could be fun. Who
Absolutely,
knows?
yeah.
Let me just write a 90-minute feature.
Yeah.
Let me see what happens.
no limits to the creativity here. We're talking about being multifaceted. You're doing it. You're living it. Yeah, you're trying. You're doing. You're doing.
Thank you.
That's Tay's thing. Anytime I say trying, she's like, "You're doing." I'm like, I am doing. I am doing. You got to put it in the affirmative.
Yeah, I'll take that.
So you said you've been here for 8 years, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I think with somebody who, where did you move from again?
Wisconsin.
So somebody moving from Wisconsin coming to LA to be here out 8 years, I feel like that's an accomplishment for sure.
A really long time.
Really long time. I mean, I've only been here, I'm coming on 4 years, and it feels, thank you. It feels like it feels like a long ass time, but it is really a challenge to stick it out, be here and do what it is that you came to do and be patient and persistent, like you were mentioning before. For somebody who might be watching, who has dreams of moving out here to chase, what they want to do or whatever, if you had like a piece of advice that you could give them, what would you say? Just like one. It doesn't have to be, just like one like solid piece of advice that you wish somebody would have told you or something like that.
Well, I feel like I had it really easy. I moved out here for school, so I had like almost like a built-in family
Sure.
because we essentially were just a ton of transplants, like trying to figure it out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, I feel like I'm sort of useless when people move out here. But just keep doing it.
Yeah.
It gets easier. The first
For
year
sure.
I've heard is difficult.
Fucking crazy.
But this city is so rewarding. And I think sometimes people are really quick to give it sort of a bad rep. And I found it's sort of undeserved. Sure, LA has its like shortcomings or its downsides, but yeah, but
Just like anything in life.
I think this city is full of like good people.
Yeah.
And even if you're not like super close with everyone you meet, everyone is pretty quick to say hi, how are you doing? Like I've experienced that a lot living here, that like strangers are very friendly.
Yeah.
So just like keep doing it. Keep pushing. There will be months that are hard. Having lived out here for 8 years, there are still months that are hard, and like still months where you're like, am I doing this? And then you have like a conversation with a close friend or like a family member, and you're like, what am I doing? And then hours later you get an email or a phone call that's like, this is validating everything you're doing out here.
Exactly.
So be patient.
Yeah.
It comes around. It will come around. It just might not be exactly how you see it, how you want it to be, what you expect it to be, but it will. I swear to God, as I'm telling you this, I'm telling myself this, okay?
Yeah.
It is a journey. If you want a 9 to 5, get a fucking 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But if you don't want that and you're unhappy in that and you want to be an artist, like fucking be an artist. And it's hard and it's challenging, and you make $2 and you wake up and you work a job that you don't want to work until it super pays off. And then you're doing exactly what you want to do. And those years where you weren't doing what you want to do are like, whatever.
Yeah.
Because now you're living what you always wanted to live.
Yeah.
Right.
So like just keep pushing out here is like the short condensed version of like, just fucking do it that I have.
Just keep going at it and stay patient.
Yeah,
you know?
stay patient.
Stay patient.
And to piggyback off of yours, which I feel like we do and don't talk about enough, yours specifically is a really great example. Find your tribe. Like, find out who your people are, because your whole team is your friends. Like, every single person on your team, every person on our team are literally just people that we hang out with, chill with, that we love very, very much as humans, and we get to become a team because we trust every single person that's in our team. We trust that our friends have the same goals as us, and we support and sponsor our friends' things the same way that they do for us. So now we all have all this crazy content with everybody that we love all the time, and I don't feel people take advantage of it. And I don't know about you guys, but I always have people that are like, your friends are so awesome, I don't know how you found people like that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you just don't accept anything but the type of person that you are. Yeah, you accept those people, and they never stop coming. They just keep on coming.
Yeah.
Building on the whole community thing too, like that's the only thing that's kept me sane out here, first and foremost.
Right.
And it is really difficult to build at first. You know, I had the blessing of obviously knowing Kano, who I know from high school and from back home. He moved out here, so obviously having somebody helped. But being able to find our community out here, our community of people who shared, you know, similar goals, similar interests, and tapping into that community, and really the way that we were able to grow that and cultivate that is that we made an effort to give back to that community, right? So engaging in creative endeavors that, you know, are outside of yourself, that are not just selfish to you, right? So photography is a great example, because you're not out here taking pictures of yourself. You're out here taking pictures for other people.
Else.
You are creating, you know, content for them. You are, you know, doing, you know, covers. You're doing whatever it is. You're helping other people achieve what it is that they're trying to accomplish. And that's something that we've really tried to do as well, is continue to give other artists a platform. right? Platforms that they might not have had. You know, a lot of the people that we bring on for interviews, it's usually their first time doing an interview. A lot of people we bring on for a TV dinner, it's like the first time that they've ever had like a recorded live performance. And, you know, I think that right now for us is like we don't hit the craziest numbers, you know, at the time that we're speaking right now, but it's just like the fact that someone can even come to us and get that practice or just get that opportunity to really share their story is allowed us to also meet a ton of other people and really engage in the community and become a part of the community a lot faster than I feel like it would have happened if we would have just been like, yo, we're just trying to do us, always trying to put ourselves on, which is an element of, you know, you have the amazing part of LA too, and you also have that part too, where like people are just trying to put themselves on and not really concerned about helping anybody else grow as well. So I think that's also super key into building finding your tribe, building your community, and helping you achieve some longevity out here too, because, you know, it'd be really hard for me to just uproot and dip now. Because I got people that I care about. I got family here. Yeah, I don't want to. It's not something that's interesting to me at all, you know? Like, and I could see how if you're lonely out here and you're trying to accomplish something, it would be a lot easier to be like, man, fuck this. Like, fuck this place. This place hasn't given me anything. This place has just been, like, kicking me constantly. And, like, you have no one to help you up. After a while, it gets kind of old.
Sure, and you pay a shit ton in rent.
Yep.
And ramen noodles start to taste real boring after a
real
while.
bland. They start to taste like the noodles they are after a while.
That's true.
Yeah. No, these are all facts. I came from the Bay Area though, so like honestly, rent's better here than the Bay.
That's true.
So like my perspective is like one of the few places where I'm like, I got it better here. If shit hit the
moved
fan,
here for cheaper rent.
yeah, if shit hit the fan, I'm not going back there. That's for sure. But yeah, in most cases, that's definitely the situation.
We also didn't even mention the fact that Alex is our last guest's girlfriend.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Darren, who was
That's
just on our past episode, you guys have been dating for what, 6
Yes,
years?
6.5 years,
Wow.
which is wild.
Very
wild.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like just a really great team. If you guys saw Darren's episode, you understand how awesome he is. Now you understand how awesome Alex is and why they are the perfect team together.
But please let us know which one of us you like better.
You might be in an advantage because we have a cooler format this time. So I'm just gonna say you might have the upper hand right now.
Just let us know.
In the comments, vote. Vote. Whose did you enjoy more? Dude, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having
It was a
me.
great time. Thanks for suggesting pancakes for dinner. Thanks for bringing the mimosa stuff.
We'll do it
She
again.
brought a gift. She brought mimosas to the show.
I bribed him to say it twice.
Yeah, if she really had it her way, it probably would have been like an every 15 minute there's a product placement going on.
Yeah, I would take every
Yeah.
15
I mean, luckily
minutes.
we're just letting it sit here the whole time,
Yeah.
so I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, very true. Where can we find you, Alex?
You can find me on Instagram, Alex G Harper. The G was sort of an accident that has sort of like become.
Oh, it's
part
not
of
your
me.
middle name.
Well, it is my middle name.
Okay.
But when Instagram first started in
Yeah.
like what 2011,
Yeah.
I just thought like, oh, I'll put it in there because like whatever, it's my middle initial. But I thought that people were gonna use Instagram to like get the filters so that you could save the filters and then put that on Facebook.
Ah.
And when I
see.
realized like, oh, this is its own platform,
Yeah.
I went and tried to get like Alex Harper. It's
Gone.
already been
For
taken.
sure.
Yeah.
So now it's sort of like become me because like even in the paper article that was just printed, it said photos Alex G Harper.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
Yeah, and I was like,
I mean,
Full name.
if you're gonna have a middle initial, G is pretty hard.
Keep
yeah,
it
I'll
G.
take
Keep it
I'll
G.
take it.
Keep it Alex G Harper. So that's across the board.
Across the board, Alex G Harper. Don't follow me on Twitter because you won't see anything there. I have an account, but don't follow me on there. And
Fair.
then I have a website, just alexgharper.com.
Nice.
Email me.
Yeah. Hit her up. You want some dope photos?
Oh, yeah. This is the
She
girl.
got you.
This is the
She
girl
got
to go
you,
to
for
for
sure.
sure.
Thank y'all for tuning in. What's Cookin'? Episode 9. What a great episode. Thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
It really was.
Thank you.
If you guys want to find us, the regular thing, tastebreakers.com, you know, the whole thing. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to see someone on the show, go ahead, comment. suggest, whatever. If you're listening to this on your drive home, I hope you appreciated the conversation.
Drive safe.
Drive safe, pay attention to the road, and we'll catch you guys next time.